here back from the bed office again, and complete with Bulldog snoring at my feet. So there we go. He made an appearance yesterday. But as always, it is so good to have you along today. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you go and do that. Press the subscribe button. And if you see the little bell there, press that too. And that sends you a notification to let you know when we go live, so you don't miss a single minute of fun, frivolity, and absolute stitching nonsense, which is us. So one of my new things I've decided for lockdown this year is I want to try and get as many people on as I possibly can, so I don't have to talk to myself, which is what I tend to do. So this time around, so yesterday we had Ethan and Deb, and it was just an absolute hoot. This time around, I've decided it's time for Claire to actually have a proper sort of welcoming to the world. So this is wonderful Claire, who is the ops manager at Skeinz. Most of you generally know her from the back of her head if we do lives from the office, or her dropping comments in when we're doing, office crosses. And you may have met Claire at an event or two over the years, but I've decided, hey, we needed to get you up front and centre since you're stuck at home with kids. I know. When I text Claire last night, she's like, "But what am I going to talk about?" And I was like, "We talk about rubbish. We'll be fine. You and I seem to manage every day at work, so I don't see why this is going to be any different." Her and I have already been gassing for half an hour before we got here, so we've already covered a lot of ground, so it's quite good. Good morning, everyone. It is everyone's firing in this morning. It's awesome. Hey, good morning, Pam. Sorry to hear about your knee. I got your email this morning. Good morning. So just so everybody is aware, so this is the wonderful Claire. She's our ops manager. She is basically the I'd like to say the one that keeps me on the straight and narrow. Well, I was going to say the bad cop to my good cop, but
I think it switches around.
Yeah, it does from time to time. So we like to joke that I'm often the one that creates all the chaos, and Claire is the one that sort of goes along behind me and sort of points me in the right direction and makes sure that I don't go too far off colour, too far outside the lines, which I have a tendency to do. And you just sort of make sure that everything works. And Claire is a detail person, and I'm not a detail person at all. I'm hopeless, whereas Claire is, as they said in Jerry Maguire, she completes me.
Well, we say that I say you do the fluff and I do the, like, not the fluff, but you make things look good.
Yeah, I do all the fro. We had, I'll tell you guys this, when we were at Capital Fibre Fest, and I know there's quite a few of you in chat already that were there. So it's the first time we'd ever done Capital Fibre Fest. Claire, you've been a couple of times as a visitor. Because Claire's got literally family that lives walking distance right around the corner from the venue. So we thought, no, we're definitely going to do it. We were really excited. And then, of course, our setup got a little bit sort of wasn't as planned. And so Claire was sort of kind of left holding the baby with the setup, and as I got sort of distracted with other things. And so the next morning we get back and Claire's just like, right, you need to go and do your thing. Everything's there, but you just need to go and fluff. So,
I do practical.
Yes, you do very practical. Very practical. So we decided this morning that we would just, have a bit of a catch up with everybody and see what Claire's got on her needles, because she is a knitter as well. And so your knitting story, tell me about when you started, because I think you started knitting like so many do now. I think your story is, I think, quite typical of knitters today.
So I, it would have been about 12, 13 years ago, I used to work in town as a travel agent, and we had some rolling power cuts in Napier for quite a while. There was something wrong with the power grid, something, I don't know what was going on, but I was sitting there with nothing to do, and there was a knitting shop right next door. So I went next door and got some wool, and the lady that worked with me helped me knit. And some of you are going to be horrified to hear this, but I'm the kind of person that just gets stuff done. So I was knitting away. There were holes all over it. And she was like, you can't do that, Claire. You can't do that. I said, it's fine. I'm just going to cover them up with little pictures and stuff. She's like, no, you have to go and fix it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go back and fix it. So that's how I started. And I completed the garment. And the child did wear it. But yeah, it was a little holy. But I've come a long way since then. And
Yeah. And then your
it was
kids
a
came
slow
along
start.
not long after. Yeah. And then your kids came along not long after that anyway. So
Yeah. So as most people do, when you have kids, you kind of get into the knitting a bit more, and then the job really threw me into it.
yeah.
And because I mean, you can't not knit when you work for Skeinz.
No.
It's and my wool stash is mammoth now. So
Yeah.
I always remember our first Christmas do. And my husband was sitting next to me. And what'd you say, Maree?
I said to Sam's very quiet. He's very much a man of few words, is our Sam. And I said to Sam, well, I said, if you think, he goes, oh, she's already got a lot of yarn. I went, oh, I said, if you think she's got a lot of yarn now, mate, I said, I hope you've got a wardrobe or a room prepared because you'll need it. And he just and then he to my husband, and Phil just said, oh, I gave up worrying about that years ago. So he had to let it go.
And he doesn't even ask now.
Nah,
it just comes and goes, and it's just part of the house.
I've got a giggle here. Shani's in the chat. Shani is one of our most regulars in the shop. She's just saying, Claire is level-headed and Maree is a wayward child. Shh, Shani, telling secrets.
Good description, Shani.
It is a very good description, but that's just it. I think, particularly when kids come along, it really does solidify it. Like, even though I'd knitted previously, it wasn't really until I had the kids that it really like ramped up. I think that's the thing. Tend to want to knit for something or someone else before you want to.
That person wearing it, and it makes a big difference. And it's starting small.
Yes.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and it's I know that we talk about this a lot actually in the shop, is when you get people in that who haven't knit for a long time, or they're learning to knit, and they sort of come in and they'll have a project and it's quite big, and whereas kids stuff is so good because it's all about, I think, completion. You want that satisfaction. So that's what, and you want to be able to see it grow and get it finished. And I know that when I teach people how to knit, like I have this basic garter stitch cowl that I get all my beginners to do, and that's the beautiful thing about that, because it's just one stitch. You practice it all the time, because I have that whole Karate Kid sort of, wax on, wax off thing. You just do garter stitch until you've got the muscle memory down, and then you do it as a cowl, because then it's quick. And the way that I do it is that it is a 14 ply, one needle, 100 gram ball, and it's all good to go. Can you guys hear my Louis? Can you guys, if you let me know if my son he's supposed to be doing online learning, but that online learning is sounding very suspiciously like Halo to me.
I've sent mine out for their daily walk.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, to be fair, I'm actually really good. The youngest one, who's through this wall here, he's already up and on it. I'd cooked them. I was really good. I cooked them pancakes this morning because he's already doing his online learning, so he's at it. The older one, he's a little bit more not so down with the online school.
Our schools have been quite relaxed with the kids for these
stuff. Rebecca is saying she's knitting Libby's Hullabaloo cowl. Ooh, that sounds nice. That sounds very nice. Now, what are you wearing? That's new. I've not seen that in real life.
So this is Zwig by Caitlin Hunter. Yeah, and I can't wear it to work, so I figured I'd wear it on here. But yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
It's just one colour in her pattern. She's got it in two, but
okay,
I'm a one colour kind of person.
Let's see if we can get this up for everyone to have a look. Hold on a second. I did this yesterday. Hopefully we don't end up with the with what we had yesterday, which was okay, so let's try that. There we go. That's not bad. Okay. With what we had yesterday, Hugo, can you please tell your brother that I need him to pipe it down because, yes, I'm streaming and all the ladies really don't need to hear him playing Halo. Thank you. And gents, I see there's a few gents there as well. Yes, he's here we go. This is one that's all in one color. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good in a single color.
Yeah, it's just a bit more. It's subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can understand why she would go for the two colors because I guess she's wanting to, to bring that yolk.
Yeah.
But
I was a little worried about being big and busted, how much would stick out. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Look.
Hey, Jet.
There's everybody. You're in between lessons, are you?
No, I've only got one lesson today.
You've only got one today?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Since Linda's phone really does not care about online. How's Chat?
Chat's great.
That's good to hear.
Oh, there we go. Deb is there. You can say hello to Deb and Claire.
Hi, Deb.
There you go.
Listen, if you need a chat moderator.
Oh, you're here. Thanks, dude. Don't you love it? No, that's fantastic. I like the look of that. That looks real good.
Yeah.
And what are you knitting right now?
So this is just a little top for a family member, and it's called, oh God, what's it called? French Twist by Danny Sunshine. It's quite cute. I've knit it before. It's just in a double knit. You can't really see it on there, but it's got a.
Is it on red?
It's got a lace pattern down the front.
Yeah.
So I knit it a few years ago in our Pearl, and it looked really good. And I made it longer because it's nice cropped on a dress, but my daughter doesn't wear a lot of dresses.
Mind you, that would also look good in Orb then as well, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, perfect in Orb. Yeah, I'm doing it. I just had some Cascade 220 in my stash, so I'm just doing it in that. Looking for something to do. I haven't got far.
There it is. Oh, it is. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's kind of, you can't see it very well, but yeah, it's kind of getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's coming
here
along.
for everyone.
Quick little knit.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I have to admit, I'm being quite good, and I'm being quite monogamous with my shoji, and I have to say, sort of by the time yesterday rolled around, look at that. And actually, so it's top down, yes?
Yeah, and it's easy because it's that middle pattern is only like 11 stitches in the middle, and then a little bit each side, so it's pretty mindless knitting. Yeah,
and that's the nice thing. I mean, that's quite cropped there, but you would be able to easily add extra length to that. Yeah. No, that's that is, I like that. That's quite cute. That is quite cute. Claire has got a niece, cousin's daughter which you've been starting to knit for, which is always loads of fun. I've and actually I just did some as you know, I don't know whether I showed you the baby blanket. Oh, thanks, Kathy's just gone. Kathy is our between Outlaw and us. She's our own digital PA. She puts all the patterns up for us in chat, which is awesome. I did a baby blanket recently, which was just a really mindless, but it was actually a really comforting thing to knit, and I had it knit anything like that for ages, and it was really, really lovely. And my niece at the moment is of an age where she's sort of quite full on and rambunctious, and sort of she's going through that, no, I don't want to wear anything stage, but I know that she's going to, roll back round again, which is quite good. Yeah, well, yesterday afternoon I got to about, I think it was about 3:00, and I hit the wall with doing all the got all the canned stuff out and changed all the dates and everything. Oh, there we go. Yes, can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's good. I just pressed my thing and it was telling me how much playtime I have left in my headphones. I was like, oh, I've never had that before. Anyway, technology. I'm such a noob.
Some strange person talking to you.
I know. Yes, I thank you for 12 hours playtime. That's nice. And I just got to the point where I was like, I have to stop now. I have to just decompress, have a break. Yeah. So it was nice to pick Oji up, and the one thing I quite like, because I'm doing the I've actually decided one of the things I changed with this is it's got this little almost look kind of it's like a little
An etching.
yeah, well, it's almost like a sort of a I-cord salvage, sort of, kind of like it is pretty much like an I-cord salvage, and which is fabulous. But you know, when it comes to changing out colours, you know, often you'll change your colours out at the end of a row, but with this, it doesn't really work. So anyhow, I decided to take the Ethan approach. And so if you've ever seen Ethan hold up projects, he's often got stuff sitting in the middle of a project, and because this is textured, I thought, I'm going to do yeah, well, that's just it, and I can just weave these out. And he's, you know, and he did say to me, he said, leave the tails really long. And I mean, of course, this is just fluff. So, I mean, by the time you wind the fluff in the back, you're never going to see it anyway. But what's nice about that is, of course, it gives me sort of a marker. So then I can sort of see what sort of progress, how I've actually done. And then I sort of don't feel like I'm such a, so hopeless. And I haven't sort of not done very much. So that's
how far through are you? Like, because it's like massive, isn't it? Like you just
it is. It is. And I saw. Did you guys in the chat? Did you guys see the completed shoji that was in the speakeasy? And I think it was Alison that had done it. It looked amazing. I think she even did it in the Silver Plover. She said it was a bit of a slog, but once she got through it, it looked. And she said it took her a while, like, because it is quite origami, and having done a origami style thing. Remember, okay, yes, thank you. I know 6 and 12 hours playtime. That's lovely. This is going to annoy me. There was those slippers. Remember those slippers that we used to?
Oh, the felted ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember? Yeah. So that was. I think it's going to be a bit like that, but like I've done, like, it's now. Oh God, you can't sort of see, but it's
pretty decent.
Yeah. Well, I reckon I might be. I haven't measured it yet because obviously I need to sort of. I haven't. I reckon I might be close to halfway.
There's a lot of knitting.
I know, but hey, I'm going to get it done for Ken now.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
I guess it's probably relevant to an adult's jumper. It's just because it's all in one thing that you don't. Yeah, it just seems a lot more.
And once I get it done, there's only really sort of a run of ribbing. Norwegian house slippers. Thank you, Joanne. That's them. Because, and then you just, I mean, honestly, the ribbing will probably go so fast because it'll be like, oh my gosh, it's nothing. Yeah. So but I have to admit, I am enjoying it. And I think what helps is the fact that every third row is a plain row. So it's sort of essentially a one-on-one row and a plain row and one-on-one plain row. Yeah, exactly. And you sort of think, oh, just do 3 more rows. Just do 3 more.
Yeah. And then next minute it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, speaking of those sorts of things, we did a family movie night last night. Because this is the one nice thing about kids getting to an age now where you sort of, I mean, with our boys being teenagers, you can sort of watch stuff that's, you know, you kind of transition from the cartoons to which I didn't mind because personally I love Ice Age and things like that. But we watched Enemy of the State last night, Gene Hackman and Will Smith. Yeah, 1990. So I have to admit, Louis kind of loves anything last century. Like he's sort of kind of in it, you know, really into it. So it was cool. So we watched that last night and I got the old knitting out and and it was talking about overreach by the state and I just was like, wow, who knew that they, you know, the deja vu. But anyway, moving right along, it was
what are you binge watching anything on Netflix?
Yes, actually I've been doing the Virgin River, so I'm into season 3.
I did that a while ago.
Yeah, you did that a while ago. So I've been doing Virgin River because, you know, we've got to love a bit of Martin Henderson and Kiwis on screen, so that's fun. We've also got a VPN, so there's a streaming service out of the US. However, I do note that service, a lot of the stuff on there crops up in, I think it's neon.
Oh, yeah.
And one that we've just started watching there on that is called Surreal Estate, which is with Sci-Fi Channel. And I actually noticed because one of the episodes was missing. Don't know why. One of the episodes missing. It's talking to me again. And I actually went to their website, sci-fi website, and it allowed me to play it from there. So I don't know whether that's anybody can do that, but if you've got a VPN, and I know a lot of people do now, there's some quite, I mean, you've got to sit through American commercials, but that's not the end of the world. Yeah. Cool. So that was fun. What about you? What are you watching?
Oh, I did a bit of binge watching of Outer Banks last night. It's a bit teeny, but it's about a group of teenagers who they kind of go on a treasure hunt. This sounds really cheesy, but yeah, anyway, I watched it, and I watched last season whenever it was out, last year or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the new season was released the end of last month, so I watched a bit of that.
LA's Finest. That's the other one I've binge watched too.
What was that, sorry?
LA's Finest. I think that's on, I've been watching that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have to wrestle I have to wait for the kids to go to bed because, they dominate the TV otherwise. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing with our two just being a bit older. Should we tell everybody we're going to let you guys in on a little secret, one of our guilty pleasures that Claire and I both share, which is audio.
What are you going to say?
No. You paused there for a second, didn't you? I was just like, what? No, audio books.
Oh, yeah.
We're both big lovers of audiobooks, and because obviously the benefits of an audiobook means that you can still knit and enjoy a book as well.
Right.
But it is great, except sometimes. So we joke about our content. Claire, Deb just said you looked worried.
I was like, what is she talking about?
What is she on about? It was so funny. It was trashy romance. Gosh, you and I.
It was funny because we started talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! So you like them too?" And then we just started. That was the same. We were listening to exactly the same thing. It was weird.
Yeah. So if you've ever done the Audible books or anything like that, you'll know that there's all the trashy romance, of course, comes often in these long series of books, which they suck you in. And I think, when we first started talking about it, we were both listening to the same series of books at the same time. So I've actually just started those again because I took a break. And so I've just actually started back into that series again because I sort of so the different. I don't know. You just pretty much stick with. Do you do any mystery as well?
But like we've talked about before, you have your favorite narrators because some of them I can't stand their voices and you just have to turn it off. But you find your favorite ones, and I kind of stick to those. Every now and again, I go to a different one, like you mentioned a series recently, which I listened to, but those I can only listen to one or two. But I find it great with the Wi-Fi headphones. You can just do like boring stuff, like fold your washing or do cooking, do your dinner or whatever, and it just goes much faster when you're listening to a book. So it's not just knitting. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, hey, now we've got some suggestions. Chesapeake Shores. Actually, that's on Netflix. Yeah, I haven't. I watched the first season of that actually ages ago. I really quite enjoyed that. And Robin is saying Babette's Feast, Jutland Story. Oh, Jutland Story on Netflix. So that would be Jutland. That is Scandinavian. Actually, that was one that we watched. Was that Katja? That would set in Iceland.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen it advertised.
Yeah, and so Fiona's saying great knitwear, and the Katla, that's also currently on Netflix. That's got some really good knitwear in it as well. And I've got on my list, which is another Scandinavian one, because I quite like Scandinavian mysteries and things. So I tend to do those too. And I think it's called the Dancing Queens.
We can't hear you. Well, I can't anyway. I can't hear you, Maree, but can anyone else hear her? Oh, now she's disappeared. She promised me this wouldn't happen. Oh no, she's gone. I said to her, don't put me in this position. I can't hold the whole show. Might have to see if we can. I'm not sure what's going to happen.